Hello. This is Dolores and Tony's channel, and today I am sharing with you a video that we did when we went to Jackson, Mississippi. And this video is from Footprint Farms. Now, I want to apologize for not closing the video out correctly, as I normally do. We were rushing that day. We were on a tour, and we had to leave to go to the other farm. So I want to apologize for not closing it out correctly, and I want you to watch it all the way through. And thank Dr. Ayers for allowing us to visit her farm. And don't forget to tell a friend to come on over. So hold what you got and check it out. And much love. And take the time to enjoy your view.
All right, I want to welcome you all to Footprint Farms. This is one of our this is owned and operated by Dr. CindyAyers, one of our most dynamic farms in the whole association. This is a 100-acre plot of land here located in the city of Jackson. It is very unique in that regard. She has a diverse operation: cattle, goat, and produce. In the midst of this food desert here, she is a glimmer of hope and an oasis. She has some cattle. Again, she has a growing herd of Angus cattle. She's just doing a lot of wonderful things here in the city of Jackson and throughout the state of Mississippi. So without further ado,
thank you.
Ayers.
Thanks, everybody. I am so happy to have everybody here on the farm. You know, as farmers, it's not an easy task to do this, but we do it with a lot of love and a lot of caring about the impact. What happens? What do we do? Just like every farmer, we grow for a purpose. So, as Joe said, you're sitting at Footprint Farms. This is actually a 68-acre block, and we have actually options for 80 and 50 that we control this whole corridor going up that you came in on. And right now what we're doing, if you see, this is another way to look at what can we do. Now, let me be very clear. This is not a USDA tunnel. This is a Footprint Farms tunnel. Everything on that side over is, we use USDA NRCS to work with. And this is a unique setup. Our cooperative, we have a closed cooperative, so we have 4 farms that's under Footprint. Farmers that's here. Mr. Danny Murray is here, and Miss Wendy, over that way. They have tunnels there that's under Footprint. We have a couple other farmers that's here that have theirs. And the great part about this, we lease for $1 an acre to them, to the farmers that's on board. And that allows them to qualify under my farm number for whatever their acreage can do. In this case, it's high tunnels. So with their acre, they did a high tunnel. But the beautiful part about this is that we do crop rotation. So every year you might have a different tunnel. It just depends on what we're growing. But we do everything as a cooperative. The farm has the equipment, all of the tractors, and everything you see is Footprint Farms. And we do what's called a cottage industry model. Where under our cottage industry, all the marketing, all of the licenses, everything is done under Footprint. So everybody that comes under Footprint has all the benefits of Footprint. And we would like to keep it that way. When we go to the markets and we do our CSAs, it's one. And again, the beautiful part about this is that we work together. And this partnership makes it work. And we do a lot of partnerships outside with a lot of different groups. For instance, this tunnel, which is our ag and cultural tunnel, we designated 5 acres for that. And all we're going to do on this side is for training and young people to come in and to be able to see what else we can do. This one acts as one of our line items for revenue. it's important that the revenue comes in. You know, everybody know these tunnels now. This one costs $15,000 to get this one done with the size, and then we've done some, you know, another $5,000 worth of electricity pieces in here because we needed electricity, we needed lights for other things we do. We do farm-to-table dinners here. We got plans for 2 more buildings going up, physical buildings. We're getting ready to put some to lay out back there. We're getting ready to do bathrooms and a holding room pretty much for all of the different things that come, our chairs, and so we won't have to be moving from one area to the other. We try to be encapsulated together. What we do here also is we allow groups and organizations to come in and have their meetings. If they want to have their family reunions, I've had 2 weddings. You know, here utilizing the property, but this is designated just for the agriculture. Because we are a certified farm, everything's on that side we grow, and one reason we will be able to walk and see is what Nicole talked about today, is contamination. So we can, when we get ready to walk, we can walk, but we just can't go into the tunnels, or we try not to go past the gates. But I did want you guys to see our packing shed. The packing shed down here is 3,500 square feet, and we actually have a 400 feet cooler. We built the building around our cooler. So our post-harvest, we have the cooler to make sure that when we harvest, we got a place after we wash to keep it cool and to keep it fresh longer until we go to the market. We also do packing down there. So we pack. As you can see, these are our boxes. You know, we talked about marketing. Well, it's important that our brand is you know, known. When you see it, you know who we are. But it's important for us as a farm to know that when we take something out from this farm and our name is on it, it's the best it can be. And it's going to our communities. You know, we so long we've been, everything's been coming to our communities that should not have come. Some of the things they were giving us should not have been in our communities. We should not eat. I'm not going to eat anything to anyone else I can't eat myself. So for us, quality is important. That, you know, I'll tell Miss Wendy, she'll say, listen, if there's a blemish on it and you want to eat it, don't even question it. But we don't just compost it. Then we go to our next cycle, which is value added. So if you get a chance to look up on the table too, we brought some of our products that we do for value added. We do our tomatoes, you know, we make soup starters. We make jams and jellies. We make chow-chow. We make squash. Right now we're dehydrating too. We do canning, and now we're dehydrating because we're determined to stop food waste as much as possible. And we're putting things together that normally you won't see. For instance, we have bell pepper powder. We dried it, dehydrated it, put it in the blender, and got it powdered. And we shake it. So now you can have bell pepper shaped, so you get all the flavors and nutrients that you still receive. But again, it's better than put it into compost. So we try our best to make sure that we're going full circle with what we do. Now we do compost, we have to. But lately, the new venture is the beef, our Angus, and we call these ladies are the housewives of Footprint Farms. It's important to have a story. So the housewives of Footprint Farms, now with babies, we now have had our first rounds of calving earlier, well, latter part of fall and earlier this year. And we are starting our herd, but we're also selling. But what we do with that, again, is another agro-tourism piece. So we use this too, part of our agro-tourism, for people to come in and see where their food comes from. And it's a cost to use to come into the vineyard. We're looking again to how many sources of revenue can we pull in to make it work, to support ourselves. We have 7 farmers, 7 people on here, you know, so we got a payroll. But the way we do our cooperative is that if we do very well, everybody do very well. Everybody got skin in the game. You know, when we go and sell, we're selling, we know, you know, what you got, this is how much money you're going to make. We don't limit you to what you can make. It's as much as you can grow it and we can sell it. So the other part about our cooperative is the marketing. So part of what I do is go out and market to bring in customers for other partnerships. For instance, last year we did 250,000 pounds of produce. We went to how many thousands of families? We do our we do 7-pound boxes and we do 15-pound boxes, and we do bulk. We've been working with other cooperatives, Master Cooperative, where we were getting them in sweet potatoes. We were broking sweet potatoes for them. You know, we get them to come in, or some other things they wanted that we had the capacity to do. We said, okay, let's work it together. I can get this, I can hold it for 30 days, or hold it, the financing for 30 days, so you get ready to sell it. So we look at how we can work together to work among each other. But if I needed something to fill my orders, for instance, and I'm in need now of what we're about to do, is to see how many cooperatives, how many farmers we can work with to bring more produce to the table for the marketing that we're doing. We're working right now with Save the Children. We're hoping this is going to come to fruition. I'm going to say it, so hopefully it will. That we're going to need, we're going to need to do twice as much this year as we did last year, which means we're going to need more farmers to be growing. And the part that I like is that we're able to say, listen, this is what we need to grow. You grow this and we're going to buy it. So you know that when you put the seed in, you got a market. That's, to me, I can plan more if you tell me you're going to buy it. So that way it's easier for us to come together to work together. And we want to do more of this. This is the model that we're working. Right now it's working well, so we're ready now to expand that model, to take it out. And the great thing about the model is scalable. It can be done anywhere. Or it can be done like this, to still make it work. And to make it make money, which is the other side. I am a for-profit. This is not a non-profit. This is a for-profit. This is my business. However, we do have a non-profit. We have a 501c3. It's called TIME, T-I-M-E, to improve Mississippi economics. Through that, we do go out for grants. We go out and we write for government dollars, for NRCS dollars. We go out and we write. We got a team that does writing. But one thing that's important, you got to understand, I know you guys know this, you got to make sure that your corporation is set up properly. If not, at the end of the year, you'll be crying because IRS will be looking at you. So we make sure that how we make them work together. We do a lot to the nonprofit, which is not taxable. They can actually work with the nonprofit. We can feed the nonprofit. Nonprofits say, I got this contract. I need 20,000 boxes. We want a contract with you to do it. Well, it comes through the nonprofit, and then we're the implementators of that. So then that way we know that it's going in. This is the money that we've written for. We couldn't get because we're a private group, but we could get this through the nonprofit. So I'm just saying there's a business model that we've been working for the last 10 years. We feel like we've really got it to a mechanism that it really works. We want to share that on how it's done. So right now for us, we're looking at two new things. We're looking at water-based. We've been growing water-based for a while. This is lettuce. This is called Aeroponics. And we did a white paper in this for Kellogg's Foundation, where we actually put these in people's homes that don't have land. They don't have backyards. They don't have space. But it's another way for them to be able to eat healthy. So this is a 32-piece. They can grow at least 32 different bunches or something. So we've done this with Swiss chard, with basil, with make you a whole salad bowl that looks like this, and all you need is a pair of scissors. And check the pH once a week, and just let it grow. And to put these in households that, again, people who don't have land, live in apartments. We have the lights that go on these if you don't have, nowhere to put it out. We grow in grow lights as well that connects to that to come over. And we put it on timers. It turns itself on, it turns itself off, it waters itself by itself. All we have to do is to check the pH and to make sure it's getting the nutrients it needs, and have a good pair of scissors to cut it and to bag it, or to cut it and eat it. So, it's important to us that it makes sense. It's an investment when we do this, but it works. We also did what you see right here. This is called our Farm in the Box. This too was put in place to make sure that we can help people, seniors and others in households, to be able to have something that they could grow and eat. So what we do with this is that we did the seeding of it, and we got it to a size, and then we gave it to the different groups, especially seniors. So this can stay outside, on your stoop, or in your house in the window. But the great part about this, that when you get ready to use this this right along here is cilantro. This cilantro, you can just clip it and put in your pot. You know, this right here is some dill. This is a lettuce. So we can do different things. And what we do, we call this farm in a box. We got some. What I'm celebrating is this. You can have this table, and you can have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. You can have 15 of these. You can have enough to eat for a while with this, and you have to do nothing but water it. So this is what we're looking to do, to be able to have more people to have food for self, to do this. You don't have land, you don't need a lot of land. I got a back porch, or I got a table in my backyard. Then this is something you can do without digging up your yard, you know, without worried about how am I going to get somebody to come and break it up, how am I going to get somebody to come and spray it up. Well, this is a way that you can do it without that. And it's a way to start to see if you truly want to get into it. This is great for young people who are learning how. Our 4-Hers got 4-H farms. It looks like this table. They name it, they work it, they clip it, they bag it, we sell it. This is what you made. So this is another way to help our young people understand this is how it works, but understand you gotta have you gotta have everything in place to make it work. And when we sell it, the money comes back. Yeah, it's your money. However, what do you owe the bank? You know, and you have to put that aside. We work with the 4-H, they talk about 4-H money. The kids get the money and they do different things with it. They got to pay it back. So you teach them how to bank, how to put it in, and you teach them asset and liabilities.
So, we're not going to go up again. We had about an inch of rain last night. And we love the rain. When God gives us water, we don't have to use as much of our own, so that's a blessing. Although we could use a little dry time right now, so we got some beds in the back that we want to plant. We can't really do that. They told me I only have 3 hours to speak. Is that right? Yeah, they all got to stay outside. I'm sorry, you guys all got to stay outside. We actually have some working going on. If you'll rotate through, you can see we're processing some greens for the farmers market. And then, so the building is designed to meet food safety standards. It's got a solid floor. It's got a high ceiling. It's got LED lighting, so the lighting costs in here are small for bright lights. It was designed so that there was enough light for people to be able to see and grade produce, see little spots on tomatoes and things. We have rolling conveyor belt, so we start a box at that end, we fill it up along the conveyor belt with different products. So now we make a CSA box. You can put a whole box together in about 1.5 minutes. And you just keep doing that. You have a pallet out here, you just stack boxes out of the pallet, and you roll it into this walk-in cooler right here. This is 24 by 18, something like that. Walk-in cooler, drive-in cooler. It's big enough to get a pallet jack in. If you don't know what a pallet jack is, that's this thing here. And that's really handy. You got a walk-in cooler and you can't move. Anytime on your farm that you can use wheels, pulleys, and levers and motors, it almost always pays for itself. That's true for animal farming, it's true for vegetable farming. Almost any time that you can get a wheel, pulley, or motor or lever to do your work for you and enhance your ability to do work, you're going to save time and you're going to make more money. That's amazingly true, actually. So let's see what else. So packing supplies over here. We have a little, you can't see it over there, but we have a little area there for dehydrating and drying to make dried spices.